In the headline, national grid collapses again, second time in 24 hours. Police take down 3 suspected kidnappers, recover AK-47 in Niger. Nigeria's inflation soars to 32.7% in September. And on the foreign scene, flash floods in South Sudan's Jonglei state displays 100. Welcome to News Updates on Trust Television. I am Lilian Ogazi. And now to the news. Nigeria's power grid has once again collapsed less than 24 hours after its previous failure. The collapse occurred around 9:17 a.m. on Tuesday, plunging many parts of the country into another round of power outages. Confirming the system collapse, the Eco Electricity Distribution Company, in a post via X, informed customers that there was a system collapse at 9:17, which has resulted to a loss of power supply across network. The power company said it is currently working with partners and hope for speedy restoration of the grid. This is the second grid collapse in less than 24 hours. A check on the website of the Independent Service Operator, an independent arm of the Transmission Company of Nigeria that monitors the transfer of electricity on the power grid, showed that electricity transmission on the grid dropped to 0.00 megawatts by 7 p.m. on Monday, meaning no electricity was transmitted from the electricity generation stations to the 11 electricity distribution companies in the country. The drop was from 3,566 megawatts around 6 p.m. Three kidnappers have been neutralized by the police attached to the Mokwa division in the processes of rescuing an abducted victim. The kidnappers abducted the victims at Takuma village in Mokwa local government area. Upon receiving information about the abduction, the joint security team, which comprised the police and vigilantes, mobilized and trailed the suspected kidnappers at Bakiko forest. The kidnappers engaged the police team in a gun duel, which resulted in the death of the kidnappers, while one AK-47 rifle with 3 live ammunition was recovered. In a related development, the crack squad team of the State Police Command has apprehended a 22-year-old man, Samaila Saidu, on information about his attachment to a group of terrorists. During interrogation, the suspect narrated that he had worked with the Kachala group of terrorists for over 2 years, adding that he had participated in a series of robberies, cattle rustling and kidnapping in Mangoro, Sadakin Power area, and the attack of Kagara town. The Niger State Police Public Relations Officer SP Wasiu Abiodun said that investigation into the kidnapping incident is in progress as effort is on top gear to arrest the fleeing members of the gang. The Kwara State Police Command has dismissed 3 of its officers over their alleged roles in the death of a student at Kwara State Polytechnic, Ilori. The incident, which occurred on September 4, 2024, generated widespread condemnation, which led to the transfer of the case to the police headquarters in Abuja by the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetukun. The indicted officers are Inspector Abiodu Kayode, Inspector James Samuel, and Sergeant Oni Philip. Giving updates on the incident in a statement by its spokesperson, DSP Ton Ejiri Adeyemi, the command said the indicted officers were found guilty of leaving their beat, corrupt practices, and unlawful or unnecessary exercise of authority in the matter. She said the dismissed officers would be arraigned soon. The Northeast Development Commission, NEDC, has called for a review of the collapsed Alao Dam project, which led to the devastating floods that left many dead and millions displaced. The Commission made the call during an inspection tour of some of the projects undergoing rehabilitation after the Maiduguri floods, among them Alao Dam, which led to the destruction of farmlands and road networks in some parts of Borno State. Trust TV's Beatrice Security reports that flood-affected communities have called on the government to rehabilitate roads connecting local governments and neighboring countries to boost economic opportunities and businesses in this report.
The flood, despite its destruction on roads and farmlands around Ngwam community of Jere local government, brought in its wake an abundance of fishes, turning most residents to fishermen. Duna Mustafa is among those making a living from fishing. but he complains of bad roads and the loss the community incurred during the flood.
As a result of the flood which affected our farmlands, we lost a lot of rice farms. The road too was not spared. 2 years ago, these communities were not safe because Boko Haram killed over 100 people that year. But today, I thank God for security agencies. I am also happy with the efforts of the state and federal governments, including the NEDC, for fixing the damages caused by the flood.
The road he complains of is under reconstruction by the Northeast Development Commission, and the Commission's representatives are in the area to inspect the projects.
Extend that also open up that one, that big one.
The NEDC officials also took a look at the collapsed Alo Dam that overflowed into Maiduguri and other local governments last month.
The commission is under very serious contractual transaction on the construction of the roads and rehabilitation of this spillway. You know, each contract carries some terms of reference, but unfortunately in this occasion we have some kind of a force majeure which affected or will affect both the contracts and other contracts as the case may be. So we're here today to assess what has happened after the flooding and see how it affects the general consumption of the project and to devise some way forward.
Nationally, the names are the limit used to give notice or alert on areas that some flood are anticipated. You know, but you know there are different categories of flood that is being expected. Flood could be mild, could be splash, could be this, could be that. So nobody could have told us this extent of the flood. But as you also know, it was still the cause of water that in 2022, you know, got this spillway damage. We came to do the intervention. So if you ask me whether there was anticipation or notice of this extent of flood, I would say no. But definitely we knew there was a problem, and it was a problem we are trying to solve when eventually now the whole dimension of the what we are anticipating change, and then so now we have to review everything.
The NEDC officials concluded their project inspection tour with a visit to the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, Dental and Eye Clinic, among others. Bitrus Kuruti, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
Now moving on, operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, have raided Urban Radio 94.5 FM Enugu, arresting the presenter during a live program. In a statement on Tuesday, the station apologized to its listeners over disruptions of the program. It said the invasion occurred at 6:45 p.m. on Monday when the prime time program was ongoing. Urban Radio said operatives abducted presenters and seized communication equipment without disclosing the reasons for their actions. However, EFCC spokesman Dilo Yewale has defended the anti-graft agency's action, saying the agency was at the station to arrest Favor Eko, a presenter, over alleged involvement in a Ponzi scheme which 103 Nigerians were defrauded. The EFCC spokesperson said only Eko was arrested and that operatives did not take away any communication equipment. He said operatives of the agency tracked the presenter to the station after she shunned several invitations. The Minister of Women Affairs, Uju Kennedy-Ohaneye, has promised to take decisive action against a man accused of sexually abusing two sisters, aged 8 and 3. In a viral video, the minister vowed to ensure justice is served, stating that she would not tolerate such acts and would make an example of the neighbor allegedly responsible for the abuse.
Action will come. I will find them tight. It is they that will run. Not me, but I will not go. Imagine a small girl like this being raped by a matured man with her younger sister, 3-year-old. Where is it done? 3-year-old, and this girl 8 years plus, being raped 3 times. I will teach this man a lesson. When I finish with him, I'll bring him out to Nigerians. Nigerians will finish the remaining one. Yes. Because now, Nigerians, you people are doing well. As I am now, each time I call you people, you come out. Each time something happens, you push it to me. And when I come out to fight, you join me. Even if you don't come physically, but you're using media. You're still doing me and Nigerian women and children the same way. I thank you very well, Nigerians.
Now moving on. The Court of Appeal in Abuja has fixed Thursday, October 17th for hearing the appeals over the emirship disputes in Kano State. A 3-member panel of justices led by Justice Mohammed Mustafa reserved judgment in the appeals on Monday after the lawyers in the matter adopted their processes. The appeals before the appellate court are that of Aminu Adobayaru versus Attorney General of Kano State and 10 others in appeal on the appointment of emir between Kano State House of Assembly and another versus Aminu Baba Dang Angundi and 6 others. There is also a motion stating that staying the execution of the judgment of July 25th on a fundamental rights enforcement. A federal high court in Kano, presided over by Justice Abdullahi Liman, had nullified Governor Abba Yusuf's actions of deposing Emir Adobayaru and appointing Mohammed Sanusi II on May 23rd. In a recent media briefing, the Adamawa State government emphasizes impactful efforts in rural development, which have often been overshadowed by large-scale infrastructure projects. The administration pointed to key initiatives aimed at improving rural communities, including the provision of electricity, construction of rural roads, and establishment of new medical facilities across the states. Gibson Swadigo reports.
Invite you, interact.
At a third-quarter media parley, which brought together journalists from national and local outlets, the Adamawa State government highlighted its trailblazing initiatives. The state has been at the forefront of implementing a 70,000 minimum wage, social investment programs, intercity and community transportation, and enhanced security measures. The administration reaffirmed its commitment to inclusive governance with a focus on ensuring that no sector or community is left behind under Governor Ahmad Umar Fintri's leadership.
Today, Governor Fintri can confidently claim to have fulfilled the promise made to the people. Adamawa State under Fintri had been a trailblazer in Nigeria, no doubt. The implementation of the 70,000 naira minimum wage came like a bolt from the blue at a time when some governors are still deliberating the issue. We still know that there are a lot of states that have not paid the 70,000.
The chief press secretary to the governor, Humwashi Wonasiko, praised Governor Ahmad Umar Fintri for reshaping the state's image and reigniting pride among its citizens. He described the governor as a game changer with a clear blueprint for development, setting him apart with its transformative initiatives that have left the people impressed.
This is what I describe as good governance. Good governance that people are marveled as to how it's been done. This governor has become the envy of so many governors. He has become the envy of so many people because of what he is doing. Like I said, he came prepared for governance. He didn't come to joke.
The special advisor on inter-party affairs, Balajada, and Barrister Sunday Wigira praised the administration's inclusive governance approach. They highlighted how it has fostered unity within the ruling party and encouraged constructive engagement from opposition parties.
But all I know is the governor of Adamawa State is steadfast and is fully in the party, and there's nowhere he has undermined the party in any activity.
Of Adamawa State, Right Honorable Amadou Umaru Fintiri touched in Adamawa State, as far as government and governance is concerned, it is unprecedented.
The session wrapped up with a question and answer segment, allowing journalists to engage directly and seek clarifications. Gibson Soadigo, Trust TV News, Yola.
Updates coming to you from Trust TV. Coming up, House of Representative Committee decry non-implementation of Disability Act. More news when we return. Do stay with us. You're welcome back. If you're just joining us, this news update coming to you from Trust TV. Let's take a look at our headline stories again. National grid collapses again, second time in 24 hours. Police takes down 3 suspected kidnappers, recover AK-47 in Niger State. Moving to other stories, the leader of the House of Representatives, Julius Iwambere, has decried the non-implementation of the Prohibition Against Persons with Disability Act by both government agencies and those in the private sector, saying unless something drastic is done, the law will remain just on paper. Iwambere spoke at the public hearing by the House Committee on Disability Matter, said many Nigerians, including heads of government agencies, believe that the act, which was signed into law in 2018 by former President Muhammadu Buhari, was a mere joke. The Chairman House Committee on Disability Matters stressed the need to invite all relevant stakeholders to ensure that these engagements will help make considerable and impactful progress.
It is worthy of note that PWDs are a vital part of our society. They are family members or parents who cater for the family needs. They make invaluable contributions at workplace, participate in all activities that involve life. Therefore, they should not be limited in their activities and struggles to earn a living, get education, and enjoy equal rights.
It is also of special interest to us the issue of accessibility to public buildings and the use of sign language interpreters in the media and for public communications.
Most of the MDAs lack the requisite technical capacity to mainstream disability in their work. On the other hand, the National Commission for People Living with Disabilities is yet to develop a sector-based training models to support MDAs across diverse sectors.
What we really need in this particular time is to see the implementation of the already signed disability bill, and also to see how the honorable member will also beautify the already signed. That is to look into it.
I think the first thing is to deepen our collaborations with government agencies, especially Ministry of Works.
The current mass transit buses that are being inaugurated, CNG buses, I own cars, I own fleet of buses. I'm a person with disability. I'm a transporter, but I can't even go to queue to convert my car to CNG.
Now moving on, 15-year-old Chinemere Okpara has sued the Federal Ministry of Education, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, and the National Universities Commission over the government's policy which seeks to limit admissions into Nigerian universities to applicants who attain the age of 18. Okpara, a senior secondary school student, filed the suit through his guardian, Maxwell Okpara, his father, and a lawyer, at the Federal High Court in Abuja on Monday. According to reports, in the originating motion dates September 30th and filed October 14th by Wayne Elijah, the SS2 student listed the ministry, JAM, and NUC as first to third respondents respectively. In 6 reliefs, the applicant sought a declaration that the respondent's minimum age for admission policy to restrict the age of Nigerian citizens for admission into university in the country is discriminatory and unconstitutional. He said it amounted to a gross violation of his rights to freedom of expression, as guaranteed under Section 42 of the 1999 Constitution 2011. The Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Mamman, had in July stated that beginning from 2025, candidates under 18 years of age would not be allowed to sit for the Senior Secondary Certificate Examination, a prerequisite for admission into higher institutions. The announcement, however, sparked intense debate among education stakeholders and parents, forcing Mamman to accept 16 years as the admission age into tertiary institutions this year. In business, Nigeria's headline inflation has increased to 32.70% in September. The figure is a marginal increase of 0.55% from the 32.15% recorded in August. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, the headline inflation rate was 5.98 percentage points higher compared to the 26.72% recorded in September 2023. Furthermore, on a month-on-month basis, the headline inflation rate in September 2024 was 2.52%, which was 0.30% higher than the rate recorded in August 2024. This means that in September 2024, the rate of increase in the average price level is higher than the rate of increase in the average price level in August 2024. MBS noted that the rise in food inflation was caused by increases in guinea corn, rice, maize, beans, amongst others. Away from Nigeria, flash floods have devastated parts of Jonglei State, South Sudan, leaving hundreds of families without shelter and access to clean water, the United Nations reported on Monday. Heavy rainfall in Bo Town caused flooding that displaced approximately 375 households in 4 areas of the state capital. Residents are facing dire conditions, with many lacking basic necessities and medical care. A community leader in Bo, Mapakud Akwe, expressed concern about the contaminated floodwater, which he said has led to the spread of diseases like malaria and pneumonia. Akwe emphasized the tragic impact on the community, noted that children have died, women have miscarried, and the elderly perished, attributing much of that to suffering. With the situation worsening, there is growing frustration among the flood victims, who are calling for immediate government and international assistance to address their urgent health and humanitarian needs. And in sports, Flamingos star forward Harmony Chidi has declared the team readiness for the 2024 FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup. Nigeria finished third at the last edition of the competition hosted by India. Chidi declared that they are determined to go a little further this time around and make a name for themselves. The biennial competition will kick off in Dominican Republic on Wednesday. The Flamingos will face New Zealand in their opening fixture at the Santiago de los Calveros Stadium on Wednesday night. Host Dominican Republic and Ecuador are the other teams in the group. With that, we've come to the end of News Update here on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms and join our live stream on YouTube. Thanks for watching. My name is Lilian Ogazi. Bye for now.